waiting on YouTube and Periscope and Twitch. Let me see if Facebook's up, YouTube's up on the stream. Let's make sure we're up on the stream. Yep, we are up. We are live. Let's see if we're up on Facebook. Everything is up on the screen. Switch this edit. Just want it to be public. Switch from public. All right. Okay. Good morning. Welcome to the Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer show for Friday, June 28th. We're going to be going over today's headlines. We also have minor league baseball recaps with the baby cakes and also the Biloxi Shuckers. So we'll start with that, and we'll have news headlines and stuff like that going into the show. So we want to make sure everybody is up on the streams and stuff like that. So we'll know. Just say something in here. Come up in here and say something, so we'll know you're here. So let's begin with today's headlines. I'm waiting on everything is up right now. All the networks are on. So let's go ahead and switch this over to the news headlines. Okay, news headlines on the NOLA.com. We'll pull this up a little bit in the screen. There we go. So everybody can see it. We're on now. So let's go ahead and give you okay. Let's talk about Les Miles bringing back a sign of life to the Kansas football program. I think this is good. Great hire for Les Miles, because look, I'm pretty sure a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, is doubting that Les Miles will bring this program back. I'm not too sure about that. I'm really not too sure. I think he will bring this program back to Providence. So that's one thing about it. Can't doubt anything that Les Miles does, because anything Les Miles does, it turns into gold. Sometimes it might turn into shit, but it will turn into gold at the end of the day. So that's what we're talking about today in this show. You want to talk about Les Miles? You can come in, state your opinion via Facebook, Twitter, not Facebook, Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube. Come on down. We have the chat rooms on. So if you want to talk about Les Miles, you think Les Miles is going to give this program new life, you can come in and state your opinion. Here's the rules of this chat room. During this broadcast, we don't allow any trolling. Please please don't come up in here and be a troll, because if you are a troll, you have to go. That's one thing we don't play with. So this is from let's see. Amy Just, you can reach her at ajust@nola.com. That's NOLA.com. So everything is on. So let's go ahead and switch this out over. So let's go ahead and see what else we're going to talk about on here. There's only a couple of articles we'll show, and then we'll go over recaps in a few minutes. So, okay, how does Marshawn Lattimore take the next step? Well, yeah, I think he should take the next step, because look, we're going to need these guys like Marshawn Lattimore on this team, because to be honest with you, look, if we don't have them, the Saints cornerback core would look very shitty, and that's one thing I would don't want to see this year during this Saints football season. So I think it's a big step up for him, for Marshawn Lattimore to become the premier cornerback for the New Orleans Saints. So that's my take on it. This is from Luke Johnson. You can reach Luke Johnson at NOLA.com. That's NOLA.com. So let's go ahead and switch this over. Okay, let's talk about um, the front my front row seat to the golden age of New Orleans sports. Unfortunately, Jeff Duncan is planning to retire. That's unfortunate. They're going to be losing a great reporter with the Times-Picayune and NOLA.com. So here's another guy that's going to most likely call it a quits. So he been with the Times-Picayune since 1999. That's 20 something years. So I mean, that's one thing. Look, they're going to lose these. They're going to lose a lot of good people. That did these sports writing and stuff like that. So for Jeff Duncan, look, that's ride with the Saints and stuff like that when they won the Super Bowl and all that. So I wish him all the best of luck. That's one thing. I wish him all the best of luck in his new journey. So that's the unfortunate facts in today's sports writing industry and sports talk industry and stuff like that. Um, sure, you're gonna out with the old and then with the new. That's one thing they're gonna be saying, out with the old and with the new. The old saying. So how you doing, Brian Champagne? I'm looking at you right now. How you doing? Good. Good afternoon now. We're in the afternoon hours. So once again, Jeff Duncan, think he's leaving the Times-Picayune. Um, so I wish him all the best of luck in his endeavors. Um, so this is from Jeff Duncan himself. You can reach him at NOLA.com for the last time. Okay, see what else we need to talk about today in this broadcast at noon. All right, see. Okay, let's talk about the new Pelicans flagship station. The new flagship station for the New Orleans Pelicans is ESPN 100.3. That's in La Rose. So that's going to be the new station for the New Orleans Pelicans. So that's very good. ESPN 100.3. That's here in New Orleans. So I think this is a good because they was on WRNO last year and stuff like that. So now they're on the 100.3, and also you will have a new broadcast team on the radio. It will be former Tulane broadcaster Todd Graffinini will do the broadcast for the New Orleans Pelicans. So that's exciting to have him on the broadcast team. So I think that's good for the New Orleans Pelicans. So I think this is a great move by them to have another radio station to broadcast their games. So the partnership will begin with station broadcast of the Pelican Summer League games, also the preseason and the regular season, and also the postseason. So in addition, they will be the official flagship of the New Orleans Pelicans. So no more WRNO. So it's going to be 100.3 ESPN. So this is from Andrew Lopez. You can reach him at Andrew_Lopez. Put the underscore. If you want to email him a question or something like that, put the underscore and then NOLA.com as his email address. So let's see what else we need to talk about today on this show. I think we covered local news. Let's go ahead and switch out to ESPN. We're going to the national circuit, which is ESPN. Let's go ahead and talk about. We'll go over the baseball in just a few minutes. Okay. The NBA will allow coaches challenge during the summer league games, so I think this is good to get the calls right and stuff like that. Because look, half of the times these referees don't get it right, or they get it wrong, or get it incorrect, or whatever. I mean, a lot of fans get all pissed off and stuff like that because their team's wins is in their hands. So how you doing? What you think about Randall? What you think about the Pelicans? Will resign Randall? Well, I think, to be honest with you, Randall. Look, I see your comments right now. Brian Champagne. Yeah, I think it's gonna come down to that. If they do re-sign Randall, that will help this team big time. That will help this team big time because look, they're looking for trades now during this free agency period as well. So if they do sign Randall, I think it will be great to re-sign Randall because Randall put up some points during his tenure with the New Orleans Pelicans. So I think it will be imperative if we re-sign Randall. So thank you, Brian Champagne, for bringing that up to me. I appreciate it. Thank you for that. So this is from Zach Lowe. You can reach him at ESPN.com. That's ESPN.com. He is the senior writer with ESPN. Okay, let's go ahead and recap what happened last night in the baseball games, minor league baseball. We will talk about minor league baseball now. Okay. Yesterday, the Oklahoma City Dodgers defeated the New Orleans Baby Cakes by the final of 6-5. The losing pitcher for the Baby Cakes was Kenley. He's 0-1. Quickenbush was the winner for the Dodgers. He's 2-2. I think the same two teams again tonight, so they will play again tonight for the New Orleans Baby Cakes and the Oklahoma City Dodgers. Let's give you the play-by-play what happened in the game yesterday. Let's begin in the top of the fourth inning. The Baby Cakes did score on a sac fly, made it 1-0. That was on Juvenis Solis sac fly. Also, Tyler Hyman doubled to on a line drive to left field. They did score on that run, made it 2-0. Also, Miguel Sierra did single, made it 3-0 Baby Cakes. That was in the top of the fifth. Now in the bottom of the fifth, it was Oklahoma City scoring 1 run, so it was 3-1 Baby Cakes. That was in the bottom of the fifth. Now the top of the sixth, the Baby Cakes did score. Edie Alvarez hit a single, and they scored on that single, made it 4-1. Also, let's see, Angelo Mora hit a double, made it 4-2. Baby Cakes, so it was 4-2 Baby Cakes, so the lead was cut in half. Also, Errol Robinson with Oklahoma City doubled, made it 4-3. And then Connor Joe doubled, made it 5-4. So they had their first lead of the day, 5-4 Oklahoma City. Also, It was tied up at 5 on a single by Solitis. Solitis is Solites. If I'm saying his name right. Top of the 7th. It was tied up at 5. Also, Kramer hit a I think the game-winning doubled to win the ball game 6-5. So that's how the game ended, 6-5. Final score: um, Oklahoma City wins the game. New Orleans Baby Cakes are um, 43 and 37, and Oklahoma City finishes 32 and 46. So I don't know why you're losing to a 32 win team right there. That's um, um, that's bumfuck to me. I think that's what that is. I think that's. But this team right here, despite that record, is a very, very good team. They're going to win these games, um, um, no matter what. So that's my take on it on the New Orleans Baby Cakes. Let me switch this box score around and give you the actual box score recap. Okay, box score recap. Sierra went 4 for 5. Harrison went 1 for 4. Brenson 0 for 1. Diaz 2 for 5. Solis, Solity, Solity, I'm saying his name right. 2 and 4. Marrero 2 and 4. Um, Himaria 2 for 4. Also Hyman 1 for 4. Alvarez 2 for 4. Kickham, Kickham 0 for 1. Bugs 0 for 1. O'Brien 0 for 1. And Dean 0 for 1. Um, Baby Cakes left 18 men on base. That's not something you should be doing. I keep saying that over and over and over again. They had 9 strikeouts and no walks, so they had a pretty sloppy at bats. That was 39 at bats, and you can't strike out 9 times and expect to win a ball game. That's something you can't be doing in these baseball games. That's one thing about it. So, with runners in scoring position, the Baby Cakes were 5 for 13 on the night. Left 8 men on base. Um, so let's go ahead and give you the pitching recap. Um, Kickham had 4 strikeouts in 3 innings. He had no walks. Also, Bug had 2 strikeouts and 1 walk. Also, he gave up 3 hits, 1 run. One of them was earned. Also, Kenley gave up 4 hits, 4 runs. 4 of them was earned. 2 strikeouts and 2 walks. His ERA is up in the 11s. That's not good. He has to get that number down to maybe to a respectable number. Kenley had 3 strikeouts and 1 walk. He gave up a hit, run, and an earned run. So they struck out 11 batters, but they did walk 4 batters. They gave up 11 hits, 6 runs, and 6 of them was earned by the Baby Cakes pitchers. So that's the analysis on that game. So we'll go ahead and give you the standings on them after this loss. Okay, the standings, the AAA standings. This is the Pacific Coast League standings. The Baby Cakes are in there right now. The Baby Cakes are 7 out of the out of first place, so they're gonna have to gain some ground if they're gonna win. They're 43 and 37 right now. They shouldn't have lost to a 42 and 36 ball club. The LA franchise team, the Oklahoma City Dodgers, are 17 games out of first. The elimination number is 45 for them. Their road record is 19 and 21. Why are you losing to this team? That is something that's beyond me right there. In the division, they're 9 and 19. You can't lose to a team like that. That is absolutely asinine. When you lose to a team like Oklahoma City, and you're 7 games out of that America's Southern Division lead. San Antonio is 50-30 right now. Memphis is 46-33. They're only 3 games out of their division right there for the America's Southern. So I kind of look at it this way. I hope they do make the playoffs, but I, for one, is not gonna be too sure about that because look, if the baby case go into a 6-game funk and stuff like that, they're gonna have to dig their way out of it. That's one thing about it. They're gonna have to dig their way out of it. So that's my take on the New Orleans Baby Cakes as they lose 6-5 last night to the um, Oklahoma City Dodgers. So we'll conclude that one. We'll go to the Biloxi Shuckers box score. Biloxi Shuckers. They won 5-1 yesterday over the Pensacola Wahoos. The winning pitcher was foul. The losing pitcher was Barnes. He's 0-2. Let's go ahead and give you the scoring plays on them. Okay, scoring plays for the Biloxi Shuckers, top of the third. They did score on a it was 2-0. In the Jaimo Josier did score, and Alvarez did score. It was 2-0 Biloxi, and it was 3-0 Biloxi on a double by Louis Abiles Jr. He had a fly ball. Soga Villa did score, made it 3-0. Also, it was 4-0 on CJ Jaimo Josier triple. Abiles to score on that run, made it 4-0. Also, Pensacola did score in the bottom of the 6th on a home run. That was a fly ball. And Alvarez singled on a ground ball to center field. And O'Neill did score. Made it 5-1 Biloxi. So that's the Biloxi Shuckers. They are 45-33 on the season. Let's go ahead and give you the box score on them. Biloxi. We'll go start with Biloxi. Abiles went 2 for 5. Jaimo Josier went 1 for 5. Leonard went 2 for 3. Gatewood went 0 for 4. Caldwell went 0 for 4. Hummel went 1 for 4. Thomas didn't bat. O'Neill went 0 for 2. Sergio Villa went 1 for 4. And Alvarez went 2 for 3 for the Biloxi Shuckers. They left 14 men on base. And they had 7 strikeouts and only 3 walks in the game. That's on the offensive side of the ball. Okay, with runners in scoring position, the Biloxi Shuckers was 4 for 10. They left 6 on base, so it was a total of 14 men on base for the Biloxi Shuckers. So let's go ahead and give you the pitching recap. Okay, pitching recap. Foul had 5.5 innings. He gave up 4 hits, 1 run. One of them was earned. And he gave up 2 walks and struck out 6. Brown didn't have anything on him, so he only had an inning and a half. And Cruz had 1 strikeout, and Williams had none. He had no strikeouts. Biloxi Shuckers pitchers struck out 7 and walked 2. They gave up 4 hits, 1 run. One of them was earned, and they gave up a home run. That was foul that gave up the home run in the baseball game. So that was in the Biloxi Shuckers game. Once again, they went 5-1. Let's go ahead and give you their standings. See how they're going in their standings. We're waiting on the thing to come up, so I'll be able to give you standings on the Biloxi Shuckers. Southern League. Okay, right now, as we look at it, let's go ahead and give you the overall standings. Biloxi is in first place right now. They're on a 2-game winning streak. They're at 45 and 33. Pensacola is 4 games behind Biloxi, followed by Mississippi, Jacksonville, and Mobile. Right now, their record is 28 and 15 in division play. Home record is 26 and 14. Their road record is even 19 and 19. So right now, Biloxi's leading the South Division of the Southern League. So that's one thing. I mean, I'm very pleased with this comfortable lead for the Biloxi Shuckers. So so that's the standings. Mobile's leading the North, followed by Jacksonville, 6 games out. Also, Chattanooga, 8 games out. Also, Tennessee, 9 games out, and Birmingham, 16 out for the in the overall standings. Now, the first half standings. We'll give you the first half standings. So that was the first half. They were 41 and 29. So that was. We'll give you the current standings. Right now, Biloxi is 4 and 4. They're 1 game out of in the current standings right now. So that's going right now. But right now they're in first place in the division. But the thing is, they're 1.5 games out for the playoffs. So that probably be the playoffs for the North and South divisions. So this is the Biloxi Shuckers and the New Orleans Baby Cakes recaps. Let's go ahead and go over to ESPN again. We'll give you what's going on ESPN today. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about. Okay, the Astros starters are on the All-Star roster for the Houston Astros. Yeah, so the American League starters are in. There have 3 Astros on it: George Springer, Michael Brantley, and Alex Bregman. Alex Bregman is on there too. So congratulations to Alex Bregman, George Springer, and Michael Brantley for the making it on the All-Star team. They did vote yesterday. They had their little elections and stuff like that. So that's an honor for the Houston Astros. And that's to have 3 players on there representing the All-Star team. Now, the New York Yankees only have 2 players. They have Sanchez and LeMahieu. So, and LeMahieu is a former LSU player. So, I think this is good to have notoriety from LSU for the All-Star game. So the All-Star game will take place on July 9th. So that's going to be at Cleveland's Progressive Field. Okay, let's see what this is. Okay, Acres Christian takes part of a CTE study. This is that is about with brain traumatic brain stuff and stuff like that. CTE. So with something with your brain, something like that. Michelle Akers and Brandy Christian um, will take part of this study. So this is from Alicia Roget. I mean, it's RoeiRoenigK. You can reach her at ESPN. Okay, let's go ahead and give you something else. I think this is it. I think this is some news stories from yesterday. So they're regurgitating these. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move along, and we'll go ahead and talk about Pac-12 quarterback showdowns in 2019. Let's go ahead and give you that startup. Let's begin. Okay, Pac-12 quarterbacks. It will be quarterback showdowns with the Pac-12 quarterbacks. So let's begin giving you the information. Okay. First game is September 21st. Is KJ Costello versus Justin Abear from Oregon. So that's going to be pretty good. Oregon and Stanford. And Khalil Tate from Arizona will take on the same guy, Justin Abear from Oregon. That will be on November 16th. Um, Dorian Thompson Robinson will take on Jalen Hurts. That will be a pretty good matchup in Oklahoma. So Jalen Hurts is not at Alabama no more. He's with Oklahoma. Also, um, Jacob Eason will take on Justin Abear. That will be Washington and Oregon on October 19th. Khalil Tate will take on Alex Bowman in Texas Tech. Also, Ian Book will take on KJ Castillo. That will be Notre Dame and Stanford. Also, Stephen Martez will take on Adrian Martinez in Nebraska. That will be on September 7th. Also, Hunter Johnson from Northwestern will take on KJ Castillo. That will be on August 31st. That will be the first game of the season. Also, Khalil Tate will take on Tyler Hurley of Utah. Also, KJ Castillo with Costello will take on Easton, Jacob Easton in Washington. That will be Stanford and Washington on October the 5th. So that is the Pac-12 showdown for the quarterbacks. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and Let's go ahead and scroll down here. We want to show you some more stuff. Okay, USC's toughest schedule. We'll go ahead and go through that. USC's toughest games for the Trojans in 2019. So we'll go ahead and go over those games for you. This is from Josh Webb. You can reach him at Affluent Sports. That's Affluent Sports. Okay, let's begin with USC's first game. USC's next to last game. That's in October. So it's at Colorado. That's going to be a pretty good game right there. Colorado and USC. That's going to be one of the toughest games right there because they're playing at Colorado. Now they're going to be playing Arizona at home at in They finished 5-7 last year under Herm Edwards, but I'm gonna tell you, they're gonna come with their A game, Arizona and USC. So that's one thing about it. So let's see. I don't know what this says. Hold on 1 second. I got a phone call. All right, sorry. I'll call him back later. Okay. Let's go ahead and go over the matches. Okay. They will take on BYU at BYU. That will be on September 14th. That will be week 2. So that's going to be another game right there on USC's um, plate right there. That's going to be tough. Now they will take on UCLA. They're a crosstown rival, UCLA. So that's going to be another game right there. That's going to be at home. So, and they will take on Arizona State at Arizona State. Now, Coach Herm Edwards, tenure at Arizona State. So he is the coach at Arizona State. So I'm pretty sure that they're going to bring their A game too. Arizona State. That's one thing about it. Because Herm Edwards is the coach over there at um, Arizona State. Now they're going to take on Cal. That will be at Cal. Coach Justin Wilcox ends his 15th year drought against the Trojans. Hopefully they do. Because that's going to be another tough game right there for them. That's going to be in Pac-12 play right now. Also, they will take on Fresno State, which is a Mountain West football team. That will be on August 31st. That will be their first game against Fresno State. Now they will take on Stanford. That will be on September 7th. So that's week 2. So they start their schedule, their conference schedule in week 2. So they begin in week 2 of the season for USC against Stanford. Now, September 20th, they will take on Utah. And they will take on their rival Oregon as well. So this is all Pac-12 football right here, to say the least. Now, this one right here, this one, Notre Dame. Notre Dame is going to be, I'm going to tell you, they coming off appearance in the college football playoffs. So I'm pretty sure that Notre Dame is going to be fired up for this football game in South Bend. So that's going to be feeding time for the Notre Dame football team. I mean, this is a good rivalry right here. This is a pretty good game to watch when you say the least. So if you at least look at it. Okay, this is from Josh Webb. He is a sports writer in Southern California. You can reach him at Fight On Twist. That's Fight On Twist at Affluent Sports. All right, let's go over to the win total. That's in Conference USA. Let's go ahead and go over that. The win total, examining the over and under win totals for the Conference USA teams. Let's go ahead and give you that. In the Eastern Division, um, Charlotte, excuse me, the verdict, they will might most likely will go 4-8. So they will have 4 wins this year. So that's for the Charlotte 49ers. So they most likely will finish 4-8. But I'm not too sure about that. I mean, any game in the Conference USA, they can be easy as so so that I'd say 4-8. I mean, I'm gonna say maybe 3. I'm gonna say maybe 3 wins for the Charlotte team if they can get some wins. Now, um, Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic under Lane Kiffin went 5-7 last season. Um, Look, that's probably gonna they're probably gonna win maybe 8 this year. To look at it, their win total might be 8. If everything goes well, their non-conference game is Ohio State, UCF, Ball State, and Wagner, a FCS school. So they're playing one FCS school in Wagner. The other games is Ohio State and UCF. So I'm pretty sure they might win 8. I mean, maybe 8, maybe 7. Now, FIU, the team we will see on August 29th, and that will be this coming. That will be on that Thursday night. That will be the first night of college football. I'm pretty sure they're going to be jacked up coming into Human Stadium to play the Waves. So I think that's going to be. They finished 9-4 last season. They're predicted to finish with 7 wins, 7.5 wins over, and also 7.5 wins on the under. They will have the Greenies on August 29th. They'll also have New Hampshire, UMass, and they will have Miami. So New Hampshire is a 1AA school, so FCS. So I think they'll win that game against New Hampshire, but I don't know the first game of the season between the Wave and the Panthers. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very close football game. That's going to be on August 29th. Now Marshall is projected to go over 6-5 or under 6-5. I'm gonna say they're gonna go maybe below 6-5. I'm probably gonna say that go below 6-5 for them because the thing is, look, if they can stay healthy like everybody else, I mean, I think they should win the if they go 7 wins this year, that's good for them. Their non-conference schedule will be BMI, Boise State, Ohio, and Cincinnati. So I don't think they have a very tough schedule. So with BMI is a FCS school. That would be a win right there. Now Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. Last year they finished. So they finished pretty good last year. I'd say they're gonna maybe go over 5 wins. I think they're gonna maybe be 6-6 going into their season. Probably get 7 wins. Their non-conference games. Excuse me. It's Tennessee, Michigan, Duke, and Iowa at Iowa. Now, Old Dominion. I say 3 to 4 wins. I mean, they're gonna say 3 to 4 wins. I'm probably gonna have to agree with this. 3 to 4 wins. They might come out maybe 5-6, or maybe 4-8, or whatever. So that's one thing that I'm looking at right there. Now, Western Kentucky. They're projected over is 5 wins, under is 5 wins. Well, I say I'm gonna probably if I was a bet man, I'd say under 5 wins this year. I'd say under 5 wins because their non-conference schedule is a little bit tough. They have Central Arkansas. I don't think they'll lose to Central Arkansas. They'll have Louisville, they have Army, and they'll have at Arkansas. So the next 2 games on that schedule most likely will be next those three teams on the schedule. The next 3 teams over with Louisville, Army, and also Arkansas. So they might have some tough times with those teams. Now Louisiana Tech. Let's go over to the Western Division. Louisiana Tech. They're picked to finish 7 wins, and also they have them under 7 wins. I'd say maybe over 7 wins with Louisiana Tech because they have Jamar Smith. So I'm pretty sure they'll have 7 wins this year, and most likely contend for the conference championship. So that would be the I'd say 7 wins, and they'll be in a bowl game again this year. Because Skip Holtz is not gonna miss going to a bowl game. You can count on that. Now, the North Texas Mean Green. North Texas is have um, they're projected 7.5 over and 7.5 under. That's going to be an even. Their non-conference schedule is Abilene Christian. That's going to be a win right there. Also SMU might be a tough game there. Cal and also Houston. They saying 8. I'm going to probably say between let's say 7. I'd say 7. I'll say 7 and maybe 5 on the season. Because you're going to have some bowl games right there. Now, Rice is projected to have 2 wins over and 2 wins under. That's 125. Their non-conference schedule is at Army, Wake Forest, Texas, and Baylor. So that's going to be a tough schedule right there. The Wake Forest, Texas, and Baylor. Army, I'm kind of sure they might. So this is a tough schedule. I'd say between they will have 3 wins this year, but um, I say 3 and 7 for them. Now the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, 7 wins in the over and 7 in the under. So I say if I'm gonna pick, I'm gonna go in the under. I'm gonna probably say maybe 6 and 6 because their schedule is Alcorn State, Mississippi State, Troy, and Alabama at Alabama. So they'll win the Alcorn State football game. That's you can bank on that. Then nobody's gonna beat um an FBS team. It hasn't been done since 2007. So since that year, I mean, now UAB, they look for good quarterback play as well. Now UAB, over 7 wins. And then under 7 wins. They went 11-3 last year, so I'm gonna say over 7 wins again. That's probably gonna be the safest bet. They'll probably be going over 7 wins in their season. So because a couple of years ago they kind of dropped their football program, but they came back a couple of years later, and I think they will most likely have over 7 wins going into the 2019 college football season. Now, the UTA Miners, 3 wins in the over and 3 wins in the under. They went 1-11 last year, so that's something they're gonna have to get much of improvements if they're gonna have a good season. I'm pretty sure they may win 3 games. I'm gonna kind of give them a 3-win season because they have Houston Baptist, they have Texas Tech, they also have Nevada, and they also have New Mexico State. So I'm gonna kind of say those games right there, they're gonna win the Houston Baptist game because that's a FCS school. Texas Tech, Nevada, and New Mexico State, I don't think they'll win those games. I really don't. And then they got conference play. So afterwards, so I'd say maybe three wins for them. Now, the last but certainly not least, UTSA Roadrunners. Frank Wilson had a couple of top years. I'm pretty sure I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna probably say 5 wins this year for his team because they went. Their years they wasn't that good, so I'm pretty sure I'd say 5 wins for UTSA in Conference USA. So this is from Matt Joseph. He is part of the Affluent Sports Contributor Network. He is preferred as the non-Power 5 college football maybe wagering on the Sun Belt. You can reach him at mid-major Matt. That's mid-major Matt. So that's you can reach him there. That's on Twitter. So you can follow him there. So we're about 50 minutes into this broadcast. Okay, let's see what else we're going to talk about. All right, and on this show. Okay, I just talked about. Okay, let's talk about Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's toughest games on the Hokie schedule. Um, so we'll show you the toughest games. Okay, um, let's go ahead and give you the toughest games. The first game we're going to look at. Let's go ahead and scroll down. August 31st, they will take on Boston College. That will be at Boston College. So that's the start of ACC play. So that's the beginning of it right there at Boston College. That most likely will be a very close game there. Now, week two of the season. Let's go ahead and go over week two. They will have Old Dominion, so that's not nearly as a tough schedule. They'll have Old Dominion. Also, they will also have Furman. Furman is an FCS team. They were a top 16 team now, so look, you can beat this team. You can beat Furman. That's one thing. You can beat Furman. I mean, because like I said, um, the FCS haven't beat the FCS. FBS haven't lost to the FCS since 2007. And that's a fact right there. Since 2007, when Michigan lost to Appalachia State, that was in the Big House. So let's go ahead and give you the next let's give you the next schedule. Miami, that will be at Miami. I'm pretty sure they'll give them a game right there. That's at Miami. Um, Also, September 27th, they will take on Duke. That's in conference play. Um, Also, October 12th, they will take on Rhode Island. Rhode Island, another FCS school. That's two FCS schools on this schedule right here for the Virginia Tech Hokies. That's two FCS schedules. So I'm pretty sure, to be honest with you, look, they will get those two wins against those FCS schools. That's one thing about it. They will have North Carolina on October 19th, November 16th, Georgia Tech, November 23rd, Pittsburgh. Let's see. November 29th, they will take on Virginia. So that's their schedule. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to have those two FCF schools. That's not a tough schedule right there. I mean, the tough schedule most likely will be in conference play, not into the non-conference play. So, so that's my take on the Virginia Tech Hokies. You can let's see. Okay, let's give me okay. You can reach Joe Kenny. He is part of the ACC. He's a contributor. He covers the ACC like Notre Dame and the ACC. You can reach him at Joe R. Kenny. That's John R. Kenny. That's John R. Kenny. Excuse me. John R. Kenny. That's at the Affluent Sports. So we just went over those analysis on the schedule. We talked about the Big Ten. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about head coaches. Worst to first, college football. These are your worst to first coaches. Um, we'll show you. Okay, let's go ahead and give you the coaches. Okay, the first one is coaches ranking 130th. Scott Low F F F L E R. He's from Bowling Green. He's 130th. Also, Thomas Hancock. He's from Northern Illinois. Jake Spybill, Spybottle. Jake Spybottle. He's 128th. He's with Texas State. Tyson Helton. He's from Western Kentucky. Walt Bell from UMass. Um, Brent Brennan from he's 125th from San Jose State. Also, Tom Ash from Akron. Also, Mike Bloomgreen. He's from Rice. He went 2-11 last year. He was the worst coach. Also, Sean Elliott from Georgia State. Mike New. If people remember Mike New, he's from he used to be the Tulane I think the offensive coordinator or something like that for Tulane a couple of years. He finished his record is 10-26. They went 4-8 last season. Ball State. Dana Dimmel from UTSA. Also Bob Davies. Oh, Bob Davies. He's the coach from Mexico. They went 9-4 last season. Also, Tony Sanchez from UNLV, Chip Lindsey from Troy, Stephen Campbell from South Alabama. The Jaguars finished 3-9, 2-6 in the conference. Also, Doug Martin from New Mexico State. Sean Lewis from Kent State. Also, Frank Wilson from UTSA. Eli Drinkwitz from Appalachia State. Tim Leslie from Western Michigan. Jamie Chadwell from Coastal Carolina. Matt Tucker from Colorado. Also, Chris Ash from Rutgers. Also, Healy from Charlotte. Also, Bobby Wilder from Old Dominion. Chuck Martin from Miami, Ohio. Randy Essel from UConn. Philip Montgomery from Tulsa. Matt Luke from Ole Miss. He is 102nd. Also 101st, Mike Loxley from Maryland. Also Joshua Smith from Jonathan Smith. Excuse me, Jonathan. Jonathan Smith from Oregon State. Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith used to be a coach with the Bears. He's ranked 99th. Jay Hobson from Southern Miss. Mike Bobo from Colorado State. Mike Houston from East Carolina. Sonny Dykes from Southern SMU. Jay Norvell from Nebraska. Chad Linsford from Georgia Southern. Jim McWayne from Central Michigan. Matt Viator. He's 91st. He used to win championships with the McNeese Cowboys on the FCS level, but it's kind of complicated on the FBS level for Matt Viator. So I'm pretty sure, hopefully, he can get ULM back on the map right there. Also, Rod Casey from Tulsa. Also, Nick Rolovich from Hawaii. Manny Diaz from Miami. Clay Helton from USC. They finished 5-7 last year. Jeremy Pruitt from Tennessee. Joe Moorhead from Mississippi State. Tom Allen from Indiana. Billy Napers from ULL. He finished 7-7 last season. Also, Kamir it's hard name to pronounce. It's Sitake. He finished 4-9. Chad Morris from Arkansas. Also, Stephen Adazero Adadazo from Boston College. Rick Stockstill from Middle Tennessee State. Charlie Strong. Last year he finished 7-6. Also, Craig Creighton from Eastern Michigan. Jason Candle from Toledo. Lance LaPole from Buffalo. He finished 75th. Skip Holtz from Louisiana Tech finished 74th. George Collins from Jeff Collins. Saying Jeff Collins is Geoff from Georgia Tech. Blake Anderson from Arizona State, Arkansas State. Kevin Sutherland from Arkansas, Herm Edwards from Arizona State. Also, Jason Wilcox from California. Also, Mario Cristobal. They finished 9-4 last year from Oregon. Also, Lane Kiffin from FAMU. Also Troy Callahan from Air Force. Also Gary Anderson from Utah State. Doc Marshall from Doc Holliday from Marshall. So Doc Holliday from Marshall. Also Luke Fickle from Cincinnati. Jason Heapert from UCF. Also Derek Mason from Vanderbilt. Matt Wells from Texas Tech. San Lurio from North Texas. Les Miles, number 58. After being dismissed from LSU back in 2016. His record speaks for itself. He had 114 wins and 34 losses. So I'm pretty sure he should be at least higher in the in these rankings right there. He should be at least higher, Les Miles. That's one thing about it. I mean, that's my opinion about it. Okay, Chris Kleiman from Kansas State. Also Barry Odom from Missouri. Hugh Freeze from Liberty. Craig Bowl from Wyoming. Willie Fritz. Willie Fritz came in 53rd. Wow. Willie Fritz. Look, I'm looking for a positive season out of Willie Fritz this year. That's one thing I'm looking for from Willie Fritz. It's another good year that we got to a bowl game and also won the American Conference co-championship. That was in the Western Division. So we won the Western Division, but we didn't get to the championship because it was a tie, a three-way tie between Houston and Tulane and Memphis. Um, Pat Nerzella, it's Naduzi. He's from Pittsburgh. Ed Ergeron, 51st. So Ed Ergeron came in 51st with LSU. I know fans ain't gonna like this, but he came in with a nine. They finished 9-4 last season, 9-4 in 17, and also 10-3 this year. So Will Muschamp from South Carolina, Butch Davis from um, Florida International. We'll see him on August 29th. Also, Willie Taggart from Florida State came in at 48th. Dana Holgrenson from Houston. He's the new head coach there at Houston. So also Rocky Long from San Diego State. Mike Newbell from Memphis. Also Mark Stoops from Kentucky. Ryan Day from Ohio State after Urban Meyer retired. Um, PJ Flink from Missouri. Jeff Tafford from Fresno State. Also Brian Hawson from Boise State. Neil Brown from West Virginia. Scott Satterfield from Louisville. Dave Doran from North Carolina State. Kim Nakatalo. I'm trying to say his name. He is from Navy. He is 36. Also, Mac Brown from North Carolina. So Mac Brown, wherever he goes, he turns everything into goals. So that's one thing about Mac Brown. So they mentioned his name. Matt Rhule, that's Rhule. He's from Baylor. Dave Clawson from Wake Forest. Frank Solich from Ohio. Bill Clark from UAB. Also Bronco Mendenhall from Virginia. Brock Mendenhall. Gus Malzahn from Auburn. Jeff Monken from Army. Justin Futate is Fuente. Also Dino Barras Barbary from Syracuse. Also Paul Christ from Wisconsin. Also David Cutcliffe from Duke. He's 24. Jeff Brome from Purdue. Matt Campbell from Iowa State. Pat Fitzgerald from Northwestern. Kenny Kurt Fitzgerald from trying to say his name, from Iowa. Also Scott Frost. He was 19. Wow. 19th. He was in the top 20. Chip Kelly from UCLA. David Sharp from Stanford. Kyle Winningham from Utah. Tom Herman from Texas. Mike Gundy from Oklahoma State. Mike Leach is in the top. Now they're in the top 20. Jeff Franklin from Penn State. Brian Kelly is 11th. Mark Dan Antonio D'Antonio from Toro. I'm trying to say his name from Michigan State. Jim Harbaugh from Michigan. Lincoln Riley from um, Oklahoma. Gary Peterson from TCU. Kirby Smart from Georgia. Jimbo Fisher came in at number 4. Chris Peterson from Washington. Dabo Sweeney from Clemson. He should have been number 1. Dabo Sweeney, to be honest with you. Now, number 1 is Nick Saban from Alabama. So that's rounds out the top 130 coaches from worst to first. You can follow them on Affluent Sports. That's affluentsports.com. Okay, let's go ahead and turn this off for today. Okay, this concludes today's Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer show for on Friday, June 28th. We'll be back tomorrow with the regular show. I will be back on tomorrow. 11 o'clock. We'll be back same time. We won't be back on at noon. We'll be back on at the usual time. So you can come in and join me for the show. Once again, like, share, and subscribe. Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer Show on Facebook. You can follow me on facebook.com/Kerry.Wehmeyer. That's the number 75. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Sports Talk Talk 2505. That's Sports Talk 2505. Also, you can follow me on WordPress. That's Sports Talk 78 WordPress's page. I'm going to see if I can pull it up a little bit so you'll be able to see the writing on there. Also, you can follow me on Reddit. That's LSU Tulane 2505. And you can follow me on Tumblr at Sports Talk 78. That's Sports Talk 78. So you got to put the 78 and then Sports Talk 78. Okay. Until then, everybody have a good afternoon. Please be careful out there. It is hot out there. Please take your breaks when needed because, look, we don't need people catching heat strokes and ending up in the ER. So please take that into advisement. Everybody have a good afternoon for the rest of the folks across the country and around the world.